Hey guys, welcome back to another interview with Garrett Kurt, founder of One Click Code. My name's Adam, the roof strategist. Glad to have you here. Garrett, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam. Appreciate
Awesome.
it.
So before we jump in with Garrett, we did another video. If you didn't watch it yet, we'll put a link. It'll be somewhere here on the screen for you to click to watch part one of this video. In that video, Garrett introduced his brand new cutting edge software that is 100% free. And that's why I have it on the channel. We do things differently here. The training's free. We're here to help you guys grow, make money, and earn the income that you deserve and brought you into this industry. And One Click Code is a great platform to help you win the sale and most importantly, supplement ultra profitable jobs. So one thing, and I want to share a quick story before we dive into part two, which is what Garrett has introduced to this program, is the importance of supplementing and focusing on the back end of your job. So if you're a salesperson watching this or an owner, it doesn't matter if you are directly responsible for the supplementing process, but if you don't supplement your jobs to get the most money out of it. And most importantly, when you think about it in terms of not trying to make money, but doing the right thing by the customer, which is everything you've learned in this channel about communication and education and overcoming objections, we stop all the salesy stuff. We focus on doing the best possible job, providing the best service and doing the right thing by the customer. And oftentimes we get pushback from insurance companies and adjusters and even homeowners who might be battling their deductible. So this tool and what you're going to learn today is going to be a really, really powerful piece for you to overcome those objections, specifically the I don't want to pay my deductible, because when you can showcase the value you bring and your ability to help that homeowner bring their roof install up to code in a way that is more powerful and more accurate and more bang for their buck than anyone else, you're going to win the job. So that being said, Garrett, let's share your screen, and I'd love for you to talk through those two new updates that have rolled out in the new expansion pack. Excuse me, the new expansion, the new version.
All right. So this is just to give a preference. So we had gotten a lot of feedback in the last month, including feedback from some of the new users that came from our last video as well. And what we heard was, "Hey, can you add the manufacturer specifications somehow to this code report?" And we're like, well, maybe. And then they asked, "Can you give us the detail to help document the actual codes associated with the answers that we're giving within the summaries?" And so I'm clicking on an address right here. What they're asking for is like, hey, you say yes and no, but where's the backup proof, right? Where's the proof? So it wasn't just coming from customers of contractors, but actually insurance adjusters were asking for that exact data. So we decided to make it very quick to access and quick to share. I think that's a key point: quick to access, quick to share, and it's proof right there for you.
Awesome. And by the way, when Garrett says proof, it means third-party verified. So this isn't a bias. It's not the contractor saying you owe me this. It's like dropping a law book, right? And you're like, no, dude, this is the law. It's black and white. Here's the proof. It's simple.
Simple. Yeah. So we wanted to try to create simplicity on the other side of complexity. And you think about building codes across the entire country. What we've accomplished is that we've tried to create that simplicity. And so what we gave is this summary page, which has to do with the yes, no answers that commonly come across not only my desk when I'm doing, supplements or I'm doing construction, but also when I'm out in the field and I'm talking to people that are using our app, like, hey, these are the questions we have. These are the top questions that get asked when it comes to doing roofing claims and roofing projects in general. So what we did was we added the PDF button right here in the bottom right-hand corner. This is available both on iOS, Android, and the web. By clicking on it, it prompts you with the new PDF version. And I'm going to click on it right now, and within seconds, the PDF is generated. And not only do you have this as a PDF, you can share this with your customer. You can share this with your sales manager. You're going to be able to send this into the insurance company. This is the first page that was available before, but what we added on afterwards, I'm going to zoom in here just to get a little bit better for a view for your users, is that you're going to see that we actually gave the proof, the backup of why the sales tax is the sales tax. We gave backup to saying, One Click has confirmed the city of Northfield that the drip edge is not required for residential. However, drip edge is required for commercial. This is a common thing in Minnesota where the drip edge is actually removed out of the building codes.
Oh, wow.
However, it's required by manufacturer specifications. Therein lies our next report that we came up with. And I'll show you that in a couple seconds or a couple minutes. But as you drill down here, we get into the actual support from the building code, which talks about the roof assembly, general provisions of creating a roof, the scope in which that you have to follow manufacturer specifications. You have your underlayment, your application of underlayment, your ice barrier, your valleys, which includes your valley liner. So we went into great length to make sure we brought all the building code information that we are answering in our summary page into a full PDF and a full detail.
Excellent. So for everyone that's watching here and you're thinking, hey, this is a lot of information, how might this be best used by me, especially when we're talking from a sales standpoint? There's two things I want to point out. One, we've all faced times with adjusters, and what would be really, really helpful for anyone out here making sales, especially when we talk about the 4 different stages of the claims process, which I talk about all the time: no claim, partial payment, denial, or paid in full. Now, let's imagine you're prospecting a neighborhood, or maybe you're using the under the radar sales letter from my roofing pack, and you're sending these out. Imagine including or showing up to the home to say, listen, I want to go to bat for you with your insurance company because I see that you got partial payment or denied. Now, I'm going to come with proof of your property address based on the municipality where your home is in to go to bat with the adjuster. When you show up on site, when that adjuster shows up and you hand him this report, you're going to bypass all that nonsense going back and forth with the adjuster and settle it on site. And imagine this: when you show up with that printed, ask the homeowner, has any other roofer showed you how your roof should be installed and what the codes are? Because, by the way, they do change. And I'm sitting here in my house. My roof just developed a small leak. There's no ice and water on here. It was not code for when this roof was installed, and it is now. And if you show up with that report in hand up front, it will help you close a sale. If you show up with the report in hand for the adjuster appointment, it will help you get the roof approved the right way up front. And let's say you come in on stage 4. Remember, that's check in hand. Homeowner already got the roof paid for. Now you show up and you're like, listen, I want to go through that because not only am I going to assess your roof, take pictures, make sure everything's assessed properly and then built into Xactimate, but I'm going to do that and compare it here to this report that shows what the city is going to enforce. So there's no questions and there's no surprises for you down the road. So really, really, really fantastic addition, Garrett. And the thing that I like most about it is that once you present this to an adjuster, it's not just a side-by-side saying, yes, it's enforced. It's yes, it's enforced. And here's the fancy language that, by the way, no one's probably going to read, but here's the fancy language that states the section of the code and what it all means. And you have another layer of proof on top of it. So really, really, really sharp stuff, Garrett. And there's another thing you rolled out too, right? The manufacturer specs, which we kind of teased at in the first video.
Yeah, I teased that, and I teased that a couple minutes ago. And so what we were hearing is that, listen, some municipalities, well, not all, not some, a lot of municipalities require you to follow manufacturer specifications. And so although it may not be required by the building department, say drip edge, in this case right here, drip edge is not required by the building department. But if you're using a certain type of shingle and a certain product of that manufacturer, it may require drip edge to be part of it. So we thought, well, doesn't it make sense for us then to be able to compare the building code and the manufacturer specs and give a final recommendation based on the most restrictive language. Mm-hmm. And that's what the building code says. And so that's what we did. And so if we click on the PDF again, as it pops up, it says, do you want to add a shingle? And we say yes. And we have all the manufacturers here. We have GAF. Click on that. And typically used is going to be your Timberline HD. It's as simple as clicking and then generating and waiting a few seconds. It's got to go to space. We got to use some of our technology to create.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. You got to be patient, and it's not super long. There it is. It's already done.
No, so it's 3 seconds, right? And then boom, there you got it. So now this is the second-hand document that's going to show, like, listen, although that drip edge is not required in Minnesota and at this address and by the city, it is required by GAF, and therefore it becomes a requirement of the installation of that roof.
This is beautiful. And another great way to do this is where I've found, especially with how competitive this industry's gotten, we're all knocking doors. Everyone's kind of fighting for jobs. When you show up with a superior level of knowledge and professionalism, and this goes down to, there's other videos I did on how to present properly when you're walking the door, how long we have to make a first impression, all of this, differentiating ourselves from being a roofer to a storm restoration contractor. that understands the claims process and Xactimate versus just chucking a truck who's going to show up and sling some shingles. If you can walk up to the home, you already have this out, or you print it up, better yet, do the report while you're sitting there with the homeowner and show it to them. But if you know, and I, for the new sales guys, I couldn't tell you the difference between an OC, Owens Corning, or GAF shingle when I was new, till you start to understand the color patterns. But if you can sit there and say, hey, this GAF Timberline HD, and the adjuster is saying no drip edge, and you're showing both the homeowner and the adjuster, hey, this is GAF Timberline HD product. We have to go by manufacturer's install because the town requires it. By the way, here's the report that shows it. And then you compare side by side. Now you're making sure, which, by the way, great sales point. Oftentimes, a homeowner doesn't know what shingle they've had. Some people want the same one. Some people want new. But if you're sitting there and you see that the scope doesn't have the drip edge, and you're going back and forth, many roofers would just install without it or eat the cost, or go to a different shingle. But if you know it's GAF and you know it's going to be the strictest in this code, you can use that to your advantage to serve the customer better and get the job approved. So Garrett, this is really, really sharp. And it's so cool seeing this come to fruition, because you and I had talked about this years ago of how to overcome this, because there was a lot of legwork involved. You got to go reference the print material for GAF's install requirements, and then try to get in touch with the building inspector, and then get what the
first you got to find out whether or not that's actually the right place you need to call, and then you call them, and then it may be the right place, and if it is, then you can ask for that connection. If it's not, then you got to go figure out where it is, a different city or county.
So, and half the time they don't even know what code's being enforced. So guys, just to reiterate,
or voicemail, that's the best. We'll get back to you. Just leave a voicemail.
And these guys don't want to call you back. So here's the scoop, guys. Go start using this right now. Go to One Click Code, the number one. Garrett, if you wouldn't mind just typing it up there so everyone can see it in your browser, just to go to the homepage. Yeah, so we're at oneclickcode.com. When I say we, I mean the website. I am not affiliated with Garrett or One Click Code. Full disclaimer, you've noticed I have not brought people onto this channel before. I will be doing this, but only with people who have something valuable to bring to you, and where there's no strings attached. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to be spending money with anyone. This app is free. It's available on your phone. I have an Android, works on Android, works on iPhone, and it works on your desktop. I encourage you to use it in the sales process. Use it for those stage 2 and 3 claims, partial payment or denial. Show up at the home. Bring it up in your pitch when you're sitting down with the homeowner. If you get the opener, I just did a video on acing your pitch at the door. When you start that conversation, you can even ask, because we talked about open-ended questions. You can even ask, has any roofer that stopped by talked to you about making sure the install is up to the latest code in, and then reference the town. Let's say latest code in North Glen. Chances are no one did. And they're like, no one did. You're like, they didn't. Do you mind if I just run a quick report on my phone? I have access to a really powerful technology, and I can show it to you right now. And then I can hop up, take a look at your roof, see how that install's done compared to here, and then we can chat some next steps. But that's another hook and another opener to give you a leg up to make sure that customer, because again, when we're dealing with partial payments or denials, that they need you to represent them to get the outcome that they want, which is a full roof replacement, full coverage for what they're owed. So go to oneclickcode.com. Garrett, thank you again so much for joining us for this one. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap it up?
No, we got more surprises coming, so we'll be back in a couple months.
Awesome. And Garrett, if anyone wants to reach you or has any suggestions or ideas for developments for One Click, what's the best way for them to do that? Is it through the app? Is there an email address?
You go to the website, you can click on, there's a little thing in the bottom hand corner, it pops up. Do you have anything you want to say? You can also go in the app, you can click on support or customer service. If you want to send an email, it's just code, CODE, at oneclickcode.com. Our team gets it. I see most of them, but ultimately that gets put into the queue for future development, anything that has to do with suggestions. And we've got a lot of suggestions. So don't think that you're the only one out there, but the more times we hear about it, the more likelihood we are going to include it. So
yeah, absolutely. And guys, just like this channel, Garrett has built One Click Code, how the Roof Strategist channel has been built. And that's because of viewers, subscribers, and fans like you guys. You submit the things you want to hear about, and it helps us develop the best material for you. And one thing I know from working with Garrett in the past, the more you hear an idea that someone wants to add something in, you hear it once, you hear it once. You hear it 5 times, gets a little louder. You hear it 100 times, you're like, we got to add that feature. So don't be shy to reach out. It'll help everybody. Same thing with me. You guys know how to reach me, adam@roofstrategist.com. Pop over your video suggestions. Thanks again for joining me. Now, if you haven't done so already, guys, click the link in the video description below. You can join the 30-day sales challenge. You can also check out the Roofing Sales Accelerator Marketing Pack. The information's on the page. This video is probably going to post around October, November. We'll see. We have some videos in queue, so when it posts, you'll see it. But we've had some updates and soon to come updates for that. So check that out. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, drop any comments below. Garrett and I communicate, and I'll happily send him over to the channel to answer any questions that you guys have. So thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.